Hi everybody, it is a book haul video. Let's just get right to it, okay? So I was in Second and Charles one day poking around trying to see what I could see. I went there looking for one book in particular and I found it in the genre section where it was supposed to be. But then I kept walking through the bookstore trying to see what else I could find. Before I checked out though, something told me to go to the signed and special section of the store. And when I got there, I found a signed copy of this book. So I'm glad I listened to my instincts because I was able to get a signed copy of Can't Get Enough by Kennedy Ryan. I'm not much of a romance reader, but I recommended Before I Let Go to my book club last year, and we did read it, and we enjoyed the story. Now that book was a bit of a slow burn for me. It started out really slow in the beginning, but the more I read, the more I started to understand how the author develops that story, that plot, and the characters. And then probably about midway through, things picked up for me and I was able to really dig in, and I'm expecting that this one will be the same way. Now, I have the second book on my Kindle. I haven't read that one yet, but if I find a physical copy of it, I'm going to get it so that I have all three. So yeah, that's the first book. Also that day I found this. This is Sula by Toni Morrison, and recently I bought a copy of Jazz with this same cover aesthetic. I saw Beloved with the same aesthetic, but I already have 2 copies of Beloved, so I didn't get it. But I said, you know what, next time I'm in the store, if they still have it, I'll buy it, and then I'll donate the other 2 back to Second and Charles and get some store credit. Okay, that's how that's going to work. I also found out about, there was one more book that I got there. Every time I went in the store and looked for this book, it was not there. And I said to myself out loud that day, I said, if that book is in the store today, I'm going to buy it. It hasn't been here, but if it's here today, I'm going to buy it. And it was there. We have to be careful of the things we speak out of our mouths, right? But the book is The Prophets by Robert Jones Jr. I became familiar with this author on Instagram when he was on during the pandemic, and shortly thereafter. He's not on social media anymore, but everyone was raving about this book, so I finally got it. Now, recently I learned of a new bookshop in my area called Petals Tea and Bookshop, and I had to go check it out, of course. I mean, and I went in there and it is so cozy. It's a bookshop that is currently inside a marketplace. It's called Westside Market, and the bookshop is so nice, so cozy, and I couldn't leave without buying books. Now, I am not really a sci-fi fantasy reader or much of a YA reader, but everyone has been raving about these books, this particular series. So I said, you know what? I can't let these books stay in the store. They have to come home with me. And I'm really hoping that I will read them and get into them. The first one is Legendborn, and this is by Tracy Deonn. This is book 1 in the series. And the second one is Bloodmarked. They did not have the third book, so I wasn't able to get that one, but I'll look for it to see if I can find it. The only thing that I was disappointed about was the height of the books. You know, you like for them to all be the same height, but that's okay. That's okay. I've got the books, and that's all that matters. Also, and I don't want to forget, I didn't get this book at a bookstore. My co-host and friend, Dr. Raymond Williams from Live with Ray and Kay on Instagram, is also very close with Honoré Fanon Jeffers, author of Love Songs of W.E.B. Du Bois. And this book, Misbehaving at the Crossroads, which is her new book, essays and stories and poems. And he met up with Honoré, and I can call her that. Y'all can't call her that. Y'all have to call her Professor Jeffers. But he met up with Honoré, and he got me a signed copy of the book. I am so excited to read this. Um, I, I love listening to Honore talk about just anything. One night, Raymond and I were on live, and she came up with us, and we were chatting about everything. We weren't even talking about books. We were just talking in general. And before we knew it, we were on for 2 hours. But I love her. She's so intelligent. She is so educated and so funny. Okay, funny. But when you're listening to her, you're learning a whole lot. So I know I'm going to learn a whole lot by reading this book. And Raymond and Honore have a live show on Instagram called The Nerdy Circle, where they get together and they talk about the books that they read together, books they buddy read. I hope that after her book tour calms down, she's able to vacation and get some rest, that they will have a live on this book. So I am going to read and take my notes just in case that happens. And that is my book haul. I told you it would be short and sweet. So I'll be back soon to talk about another book that's very special to my heart. So see you in the next video. And until next time, everybody, keep reading. Bye-bye.